Behind the Wall is a program created through Shepherd's 5-Hour Foundation. It was created to give people a platform to tell their stories and allow people to get to know them. Today we are interviewing Corey Greene. Welcome, Corey.
How you doing?
How you doing today?
Fine.
Why don't you go ahead and tell us about yourself?
My name is Corey Greene, and I'm 43. I just finished doing a 10-year federal prison sentence. I'm a father of 4, and I grew up in West Memphis, Arkansas, but I'm a Tennessee resident. And I also have a business called Second Chance, which we do work with kids in the community. And we also have an event center where we do things for the kids in the community, and we do paint and body work as well.
Okay, Corey, tell me about your childhood.
I grew up in a good family home, what I would call. You know, my grandparents raised me. My mom was very active in my life. She did all she could do to raise me. You know, I started out going to school. I had always had this dream of being a young entrepreneur, going to college. But somewhere, I think I kind of got involved with the wrong lady in my life, and kind of got involved with the guy that she used to deal with before me. And then the violence started to come between us because we got to fighting, and then it came to guns, then the drugs got involved, and I ended up in prison.
Tell me, how was your prison life when you were there?
Prison for me was like a school, because I already had everything instilled in me what I want to do in my life. Okay. But most people go to prison and they get caught up in the gang violence, because the federal prison to me was nothing more than a gangland. It offered you nothing. I mean, it was opportunities for us to go to school, but you had to have those things in you. If you didn't have those things instilled in you, then you would just get caught up. There was a lot of murders in prison. I spent 3 years in Pollock, Louisiana, which was a maximum security federal prison. And most of the time we stayed on lockdown, 24 hours a day, months at a time. So for me, prison was no more than what I already had inside of me. If I didn't have the desire to go to school and to educate myself and to do things, I wouldn't have got anything out of prison, honestly.
Okay. Tell me, how do you feel about the criminal justice system as you know it?
On the state level, I feel like they don't do enough to prove people innocent, because I got my first conviction at the age of 18. I was in the car with some friends who had some drugs, and I didn't have anything at the time, but by me being 18, I was the one charged with it. So I actually got my first felony conviction for some drugs that I never even possessed.
Okay, so that means you were innocent, but no one was there to help you get through
the times. My grandma had just passed away. I was going through something as a teenager. You know, I just wanted to get out the court system. And to me, taking a plea deal at that time was the best thing to do, which ended up being the worst thing that I could have ever done, because it cost me something for the rest of my life that I'm still fighting against.
Okay, so who was your support team when you went to prison?
Oh, my mom, hands down. My mom, she made sure she took care of me like I was a baby. She made sure I had money every day, every month. My sisters, they took care of my kids. They made sure that anything needed to get done. So my family was my biggest support. I never called anybody in prison and asked them for anything, because my family was there the whole time.
Okay, emotionally, how was they affected?
Emotionally, that's an eye-opener, because to me, when you're in prison, you start to see the things that mean the most to other people. And it makes you not be selfish, because you're starting to see the ways that people really need you, as versus like most of the time I was there for people financially, but when I got to prison, I realized how much I was there for them mentally. Okay. You know, to be able to see my daughter come, she was 4 years old at the time when I left, and just be like, Dad, I want you to come home. Can I stay with you? That does something to it, man.
Did you develop any talents or gifts while you was in prison?
I would have people to always say that I had a gift. I knew how to communicate with people. Okay. I always had something inside of me, I guess you could say a spirit, that always drew people to me. Okay. I took a couple college courses. We did oral communications in prison, so that helped me to learn how to express myself more to people. But that was my gift, just being able to touch people on a day-to-day basis and show them my strengths versus my weaknesses.
Okay, tell me what happened when you transitioned from prison to home. The good and the bad.
The good thing, I'm back in society.
Okay.
The bad thing is nothing is the same. Everything that I was used to is no more. You know, I came back, I was blessed to be able to have a family to help me. I opened my own business the day that I stepped out of prison.
Okay.
But it's a struggle because when you come from prison, it's like you got to start all over again. And by doing that, it's like you don't have time to save and build. You have to start back taking care of the responsibilities that you left to make up the difference in those people's lives. And sometimes that's a struggle because even though you try to bond with these people, they don't understand you because there's been so much time and space between.
Okay. Are you still on probation or parole at this point?
I'm not. I completed it.
What year did you complete parole?
2018, June of this year, 2018.
Okay. Can you tell me, do you think when people go to prison, they are dehumanized because they are incarcerated?
I think that when people go to prison and if you're not mentally strong, it'll break you down.
Okay.
I mean, prison should be a place where you have time to think and rebuild. A lot of people go to prison and have fun. And when you start having fun in prison, you get caught up in the things that's going on in prison. Like for me, my mindset was, I got to go in, I got to do my time, and I got to get out.
Okay. What would you tell someone that is transitioning from prison if they was getting out today?
I would tell them to keep God first. Be careful of your surroundings. To me, you have to pay attention because sometimes, like I'm a good-hearted person. You can be too much of a giver. Okay. And people will use you because you give so much. Okay. You need to pay attention to the people that's in your life for the right reasons and the people that's in your life for the wrong reasons. I would definitely say keep in mind that you survived in prison for so many years by yourself so you can do it out here on your own. That's not to say that you don't need help, but just be careful about the people that you allow in your space and to help you do things.
Okay. Even though you finish your parole, do you think you're still being punished for your crime?
Every day.
Tell me about
Every
that.
day. I mean, when you apply for housing, you can have all the money in the world and you apply for housing. I applied for housing 3 or 4 times and was turned down because I had a felony record, which my record now is over 20 years old, but it still comes up. You still being looked at. You have to explain yourself. You still being looked at of the person that you was 20 years ago. People don't even understand why you was that person. They don't even know the reasons that you even encountered those situations in your life.
Okay, elaborate that a little bit about that. How do you feel people should view you now and what you experienced through your lifetime?
I feel like people should view me from what I give them. If I put something positive out there, I feel like positive should come back. If I put something negative out there, I feel like negative will come back. And I should hope that people will look at you not as far as where you've been in your life, but where you headed to. Because life is not how you start off, it's actually how you end.
Okay. What resources would you tell people about since you came home? What resources would you give them? Because obviously, maybe we didn't help you. We didn't give you enough resources as a community. We didn't give you enough resources for you to get back in trouble. What resources could help you to not get back in trouble or will help somebody else not get back in trouble?
Mental support. You definitely gonna need a foundation of being financially stable. Because if you're not financially stable, no matter whether you've been incarcerated or not, that's gonna be a problem in your life. That's where most things occur because you're trying to struggle to take care of family. You're either trying to support some type of habit or whatever it is that you got going on. It's all about being financially stable, and you have to be able to communicate with people and get an understanding.
Okay, the last question. Shepherd's 5-Hour Foundation is giving you a voice to tell your story. Tell me how it will help somebody else to be a part of the program.
To me, I think that by you seeing the things that I've been through in life and my transitional point, that can be used as a PowerPoint to help empower other people. Because somebody always has a story and has that same struggle that they may not know how to deal with. And the more that we put our stories out there, the more that gives people something to grab a hold to and feel that they can do. Just like this past week, my friend, he won the mayor of West Memphis.
Okay.
And to see a young black man in this daytime, I never seen it, to have a black police chief and a black mayor at the same time in the city of West Memphis. And we got out a campaign from door to door, and that just shows that what we can do is we come together as black people, that we can do anything that we put our minds and heart to. So that's, to me, it's all about the right mindset and surrounding yourself with the right type of people.
Tell people how they can get in contact with you with your business. Even though you have a background, you also are your own business owner. Tell them how they can get in contact with you.
Oh yeah, you can contact me on my Facebook page. You can look up Corey Greene, the Second Chance Car Care Center. We have an event center, an auto body repair shop. We do, I have what you call pledge to my communities, which is something that me and my fellow Rough Rider brothers and sisters do with the kids in the community. You can contact me by email at mrcgreen@94gmail.com, or you can contact me at 901-275-6609.
All right, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
here.